It's Wednesday. It's 8 p.m. I'm Chris.
I'm Daz.
Richie. Daz, roll the titles.
You're the joker, the expert, the voice, but you're one of the crowd. A vision of weakness you don't...
Hello,
Evening,
lads.
boys.
How's it going?
Evening, boys.
All right.
Is it just me, or did that music go really fast there? It seemed to speed up.
Yeah,
Normally it goes
yeah.
slow.
There, yeah.
Anyway, well, here we are. Hang on. Let's bring on the other lad.
Stragglers here.
Hey, Pete, you just met him. Just say it.
Is the man? Is the man?
Right.
How you doing, boys?
Evening, Pete.
All right.
Let's
Good,
go
mate.
with the intro.
Good.
Welcome, wherever you may be, watching this on TV, watching this on your phone, or if you just hopped off your private jet, gone for a lad's holiday with a few cans with your mates, and your plane has just departed to go home again, with you staying there. Welcome to the show. Tonight, I want to give a shout out to Martin, who can't be with us for personal reasons, but just to give an update for people that are curious. Still no sign of his belly button, and no member has appeared either. Then also want to shout out to we had to change his show so many times this week. What's going on? Bands not showing up last week. Bands cancelling with 1 day's notice this week. We have two quality acts this week. We have the Outcharms and we have Dictator. So yeah, you'll remember them from before, and we have some a new tune or two from them as well. So look forward to that. Just also to mention, you might remember on show 10 back in March we had Deco on. So yeah, then Peter Crouch must have been listening to our podcast, because 2 months later, Deco rock on to Peter Crouch's podcast there the other day. So yeah, we're ahead of the game. Stick with us. We know what we're doing. Kinda. Last thing I want to say, we have a packed show tonight. It'll chop and change as we go around. I have about 7 headlines, lads. So let's get straight into it, and let's go for loaded headlines. So I think there's probably just one place to start here, and I know this is the one, Pete, you're dying to get your teeth into. You're dying to get your teeth into this one. Let's talk about the European Super League and the fine imposed on the 6 Premier League clubs. So it's 22 million, I think it is, of a fine imposed on Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, and Spurs. And Gary Neville has branded it it's an absolute embarrassment. I'm sure we would agree with him. Richie, we'll go with you first. Thoughts?
Well, you'll know off our chat this afternoon in our private WhatsApp group. But to be fair, I was when it was announced, I was livid, absolutely livid, that the two main organisations that can really affect what they've done, and they've literally asked them for some pocket change out of their trouser pocket. It's just it's just an absolute joke that even if I think it was 1.5 million from the Premier League and up to 5% of whatever they make from the European competition. So I think the actual figure breaks down that it can be up to 5 million, depending on how far they get in the competition. So Arsenal aren't in Europe next year, and then you've also got Spurs in the Conference League. So they're not going to be having much prize money from that competition. So if you look at that and you think, well, they've been let off with basically a slapped wrist. But seriously, the 1.5 million from the Premier League as a fine. But I think the one thing that annoyed me most about the news was the fact that the Premier League actually asked the Big Six what they would like the punishment to be.
It's just a joke.
It's absolutely ludicrous, lad. Seriously, Do you know what I mean? It's like, could you imagine like your head teacher when you'd done something serious at school, and then he walked up to you and said, "So lads, I can give you 100 lines, or I can give you, we'll go old school days. I can cane you, or I'll tell you what, I'll let you play football in the yard after school for half an hour. What do you fancy doing, lads?" Well, everyone's going to tell you what option they want. They're going to play football in the yard, aren't they? But it's seriously, they could have really, really made an example out of them. And there's so many teams that have been affected, not just in the Premier League, but I'm talking like lower grassroots pyramid, who could have really, really done with some handouts from those fines. And I just think it's an utter farce. And I still can't believe they're getting away with it. And the fact that the Premier League asked them, it just goes to show you how corrupt the league is. And, they should have handed down huge fines. And I completely agree with Gary Neville. And that's coming from someone who played for one of the teams for the whole of his career and loves that club. So I think that says it all, really.
Cheers, Rich. Chris?
Yeah, do you know what? I think Rich has put that really well. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because, sorry, I'll just keep looking at all these Avon comments. No, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I think Rich summed that up really well, and I'm conscious we've got loads of headlines. All I will say is in the group chat today, I mentioned this, and I said at the very start, the one thing I am pleased about, which I know it probably doesn't feel like there's anything to be pleased about, is I felt quite strongly about the clubs, the managers, the players, the fans not being punished by them being banned from Europe. For me, or having points deducted. Like for me, that was a big one because I keep playing back in my head that interview, when they were asking Solskjaer, they were asking Klopp, and you could see they were visibly embarrassed, like they didn't know. So for me, it is all about the owners, and shame on them for what they've done. But in terms of what Richie's just said, I mean, those fans are an absolute joke, aren't they? I mean, that was an opportunity for them to say, listen, here's a big fine. I don't know what you would class as a big fine, but 3.5 up to 5 million is not a big fine, is it, for the amount of money these clubs make?
Just go back on it, Chris, of what they actually said. They've actually said if they break the rules again, each team that decides to leave will be fined 20 million and a deducted 30 points.
Right. Okay. So I
don't understand how the money affects it. Now that money should have been that sort of fine now per team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then you go exactly the same 20 million the next time you try, plus you have the points, and then it increases every time they try. But to be fair, with the amount of money that they're getting if they try to leave again anyway, 20 million is going to be absolutely nothing.
No.
If they're getting billions and billions of,
and they won't
JP
even,
Morgan or whoever's going to fund it.
Yeah. They won't even get relegated with 30-point deduction. They'll still have enough points to stay up. So they'll just be out of Europe for a year. That's all.
Do you know what? Like I say, the points deduction doesn't sit with me. But I'll tell you what worries me about what you've just said then, Richie. The line, if you do it again. Now, how about change the rules so it doesn't happen again? And if they attempt to do it again, they're gone. Get rid of them. Done. And, they wouldn't then have the temptation to do it again. All right, threaten them. But the fact that you've just said 20 million, why only charge them potentially a fraction of that? And then to make it even funnier, like you said before, Rich, about we've come to an agreement. No, it shouldn't be an agreement. It should be, this is what you're getting. Not are you okay with this? Is that all right? Again, it just goes back to our issues as Newcastle fans over this whole problem that we have with the Premier League. The whole thing just stinks. They should have been slapped with a heavy fine. And if they believe that 20 million is obviously the most severe that they're going to go to. So really, on that basis, you would think that at least 10 million this time around. But as I was saying before, this was the opportunity for the Premier League to really, stamp their authority, really make an example of them, and really, punish them to, the biggest degree that they could without affecting other people. Now, let's be honest, 3.5 million, 5 million, even 10 million, that's nothing to these clubs. But it would hit the owners in the pocket, and it would hopefully, make an example of them. And the fact that they've chosen to come out with it goes back again, doesn't it, to the statement? Who's released that statement saying we've come to an agreement? Who on earth has signed that off? Even us four lads at Loaded Football, we've set our own show up, and even we're going, hang on, who's agreed to that? Like, who signed off that saying we come to an agreement? They must know people are going to pick holes in that. I mean, Nick DeMarco must look at that and think, oh, I wouldn't mind mentioning a bit of that in my case. It's just a joke. Who would seriously sign that off and say that that's an acceptable statement? It's just a joke. Absolute joke.
I know Pete is dying
Pete's
to get his
dying,
hand on this. Yeah, I just say one thing in one sense. If our takeover goes through, I don't really care. But go, Pete.
No, look, are we really that surprised that this has happened? Because for me, their sanction should have happened the week that the whole European Super League fell apart. Yeah. The fact that it's waited weeks and weeks and weeks for this decision to be made told me that it was only going to go one way and it was only going to be a fine. So I'm not surprised by it. Am I annoyed? Yeah, I am annoyed because look, 20 million. It's not even 20 million. It's 20 million is nothing. It's absolutely nothing to these teams. You know, even if you'd have charged them 20 million each, it's still nothing to these teams. They earn more than that for their home games in terms of having fans in the stadium. So it's like it's absolutely nothing. But what it does show you is that the Premier League have completely shit themselves. They have absolutely shit themselves, and they've tried to show authority and power in the first couple of days of it all falling apart, and then when everything's fell apart, they've just crapped it, and they've just allowed the Big Six to force their dominance through again. So nothing will change. They're all in the same position. It will say that certain people don't have authority when it comes to making decisions and all their meetings and blah 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 blah. But actually, no, nothing's going to change. Everything will stay exactly the same, and it will take something like a new serious owner coming into the likes of Newcastle or another club that will dismantle that top six and actually make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And you know what? I think a lot of other fans would like to see that. They'd like to see the top six crumble and have another big player come in there and spoil their fun. So for all of us especially, but I think for the rest of the Premier League, I think they now hope it happens.
I think that's why people just before me. I think that's one of the reasons why everyone's so refreshed with Leicester and West Ham breaking into that category this season, because especially after what's happened. But just going back to the fine again, this is how pitiful the fine is. Roughly 1.5 million is roughly a placing where you would finish at the end of the season. How much prize money you would get per place is roughly about 2 million. So it's less than that. But do you know what, personally, I think what's it, 120 million roughly you get if you're finishing last with your TV rights money. To me, an adequate fine would split that in half. Whatever you earn that year, that is your fine.
It should be. I mean, you made a great point in terms of, what is it, 1.5 million or something they have to pay.
That's their basic fine.
Yeah. So put it into perspective that two clubs, Arsenal and Man United, both earn on a match day with a full fans in the stadium the best part 2.5 million. That's one match day. So that's they're effectively using that one match day. So the first game of the season will effectively pay off for that fine. That's how embarrassing it is. On a good day, on a Champions League day, on a Europa League day, they probably earn 3 million, 3.5 million. Okay, in terms of shirt sales, in terms of the concessions, in terms of fans being in the stadium regarding tickets. That fine is an absolute joke. And Gary Neville is absolutely right to point the finger at the Premier League. But all it does show, it shows how bad the Premier League is being ran for the last year. We know firsthand how bad the Premier League's been ran in the last year. But now other fans of English football are starting to see how bad they are run, and it just makes them look worse and worse. And from a selfish point of view, for what hopefully is going to come to us in the next month and a half, right? This puts pressure on because it's making them look bad at the moment, and in the next month or so, they could look even worse.
True, Pete. And just one last point on that one as well is the timing of it. Yeah, try to disguise it while the Euros are about to kick off. Let's hopefully they get all their things done, sorted out just before the Euros. That'll keep me happy. If it falls our side. Okay, I'll move on. I wanted to move. This is where Martin would be very handy with his microphone. We're going to go to Loaded HQ Euronews. Okay, straight into that, and we go to. We're going to combine two topics. I'm going to brush over that. That was a disaster. It didn't happen. Okay, I want to go to the odds first, and I'll combine the odds and then a bit of the Euros news. So, who are you having as the winner, lads? I was saying last week I was thinking England, and then I was kind of hearing more about the injuries and people not being fit for the first game for England, and I thought, oh, maybe not England. So now I'm kind of half thinking France, but I think I'll stick with England for the time being anyway, until that first game kicks off. Then I have to stick with one team. But yeah, England the winner for me, I think so far. What do you think?
It's a tough one, Daz. You know, I have fancied England to do well this tournament, mainly being that if they win every single game, in the up to the quarterfinals, they'll only play one game away from Wembley, so it's pretty much a home tournament for them, even though it's spread out all of the year of this tournament. So they've got that incentive to do that and pretty much make it the first European Championship win and obviously on home soil as well. The main issue that I think stops England with it's defensive concerns for me. And I think that's the major issue, especially with Harry Maguire not doing training again today. That's another big issue because technically he's probably our most solid defender. Yes, he has the odd mistake like every centre-half does, but he's probably the most consistent. So that's the main issue that I think England have. France pretty much can beat anybody on the day. I don't know. I think I was going to go England, but I think I'm actually possibly leaning towards Belgium. If I'm honest with you, I think Belgium have got superstars throughout the team, like England. But when you've got people like Vertonghen, Alderweireld in your defence who know each other for years and years, yes, they've played at Spurs, and then obviously look at the people that sit in front of them who are a hell of a lot better than who they had in the Spurs midfield. I just think they'll possibly go one better. Obviously, they've improved tournament on tournament in the major tournaments over the last 4 years. I just think they possibly could go one better this time.
Belgium for you, so Richie, nice one. Chris, sorry.
Okay, so you know that I'm not the biggest England fan. I haven't made that a secret by any stretch, but thinking with my logical head on, and also I always like to try and tease a bit of value out the market. I know. Do you know what? I was only talking today about it, funnily enough, to my neighbour, and I was saying, like Euro 96 and El Tel and Sheringham, Shearer, Scholes, all that. I loved all that. Absolutely loved it. And obviously it was a home tournament. I appreciate that. But do you know what? Something got sucked out the life out of it. I don't know what it was. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Do you know what?
Don't ruin him before he started.
Yeah,
why are people putting pressure on him now? Jesus Christ.
I don't know what it is. I struggle to get any excitement for it, and I don't know why that is. I must admit, I'm more looking forward to seeing the other nations. Like I enjoy watching, the likes of France, Belgium, Italy, Germany, Holland. I enjoy all that, and I love the World Cup for that reason. I love all the African countries and stuff like that who you don't get to watch very often. So
different styles of football.
Yeah, it is exactly different tactics, different styles, and I love all that. Yano, you've beat me to it, mate. So I look to tease a bit of value. Me head saying France because of the squad they've got so strong. Even the likes of St. Maximin, he's like nowhere near it. So that tells you the kind of quality that France have got and they possess. And I think also it's interesting this year because Benzema's back in the squad, isn't he? And obviously he's been on exile. He hasn't played for years, although he's picked up an injury, which is a sad story. But for me, if I'm going for value and you're going for someone who is, someone who consistently performs on the big stage, I think Germany at 15-2. I think that's a great place. The Germans are renowned for grinding results out and really getting things done. I know they're probably not what they once were. And weirdly, if you flash that up again, Daz, sorry, anybody for me, and you can quote me on this, maybe I'll be an idiot, but anybody who is back in Spain at that place, for me, is just bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Spain, obviously, over the years, fantastic squad, fantastic set of players. I think they've got an aging team now, and I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure that there's all that much coming through for Spain. So, yeah, for me, the wise money would be on Germany.
Cool. And I think Spain have this COVID in the camp as well. I think one or two.
Do they? Oh, well,
yeah,
it's even worse.
Heard something about that.
One player.
Yeah. Pete, who are you having? Do I have to ask?
Lads, it's coming home. It has to. It's got to at some point. Come on, please.
It's got to at some point. Yeah, you're right.
Please, just come home. Just come home. Look, we're in with a chance. But although I get what Richie's saying in terms of we've got the home advantage, if we're going to win it, we have to play some big teams early on as well. The group has been relatively favourable. I do see us beating Croatia. Croatia is the definition of an aging team. Their best players are all 34, 35 and above. I think although they got the better of us in the World Cup, we should put them to the sword on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. And I think we will. I think we'll win every game in the group stages. But then that's when it comes into the big rounds, and from then on, you're potentially playing a big team all the way through. For me, the favourites in this tournament are France. France have just talent all over the place. The bench, even the coaches probably are good enough to play in their first team. That's how good they are. They're just full of talent. And you know what? They're motivated because they feel that they should have won the Euros in 2016 when Portugal won it. They thought that tournament was theirs, and when they were shocked into that defeat, they are gooding for it big time. And I watched them play the other night, and they looked good. They looked very, very good. You know what? The fact that they've called Benzema back for it says to me that they're gunning for it as well. He hasn't played for 6 years, and now he's back in the squad. I think he only got a dead leg, so I don't think it'll be a major down for the tournament. But France, for me, are the ones. The surprise package for me, I'm going for Holland. I think Holland could have a really good tournament because no one's really talked about them. But the likes of Wijnaldum, the likes of De Ligt, I know Van Dijk's not playing, but they've got quality players across the team, and you know what? They missed the last tournament, so they are going to be bang up for it in this one. And I think they'll give it a real go, and I think they'll shock a few teams. A few teams will go there and think they're going to they'll walk over Holland, and I think they'll get a bit of a surprise. Holland are a good tight unit, a tight-knit unit, and they work for each other. And I think in a tournament, that's exactly what you need. That's what we had. We had that in 2018. That's what got us as far as we did, because we had a tight-knit group, a group that was working and doing everything for each other, no individuals. Holland have that. I think Belgium will struggle. I know, I can't remember who said they thought they'd have a good tournament. They hang their hat on Hazard and De Bruyne, and with De Bruyne having an injury going into the tournament is not ideal, and Hazard has just not played well for 2.5 years, and you can't turn it on and off like a tap. So I just think they won't do great. Germany are up there. I think Germany will be decent. And you know what? Spain have got some decent players coming through. They've got Ferran Torres from Man City. They've got Pedri from Barcelona, Ansu Fati from Barcelona. They've gone with a little bit of youth this time. And a lot of their older players, they've kind of left them by the wayside. And actually, when Spain were at their best, it was all of those young players that were playing at their maximum.
Yeah,
so they could potentially surprise. I mean, I don't think they'll win it, and I don't think Holland will win it, but I think those two teams may surprise a few in the tournament and go a little bit further than expected.
Pete, have they took Adama?
Traore? You know what? I don't know. I think they have, but I actually don't know for sure. I'm going to Google it. Interesting one. With the likes of Pedri and Ansu Fati, I would think not, because for me they're better talents than Adama. I have to be honest, and I think they've gone with youth in this situation. So it'd be worth finding out. But I'm not sure. But even if they have taken him, I don't see him play many minutes, if I'm honest.
Let's stick with. I'm going to move on, lads, and let's stick with that Wolves topic, because I want to revisit the topic we talked about last week, just briefly, because there's been some updates on it. So last week we talked about the 4 clubs without a manager. Well, one of them has got a manager since, and Wolves have decided to go large and bring in Bruno Large, or Larg, or whatever you call them, whatever you have in yourself. I like the Castore gear though. I like that'll be a nice little Newcastle crest there. Now be nice on that top. But anyway,
that's the one team that promoted it. Jesus.
But yeah, that's a managerial appointment at Wolves, and we talked about Palace as well last week, and Nuno hasn't agreed with terms with Palace, so Palace continue their search along with Spurs and Everton. So just a quick update on that. Jump in if there's anything you want to say on any of these topics, but I've got about 2 or 3 more to get through. So let me see. The next one I wanted to bring up was we talked about it. PSG, Pete. You like to talk about PSG, and there's a number of signings that they're linked. They've got nearly done, or they've got the keeper from AC Milan. I think on a free signing. I'm not sure if that's done yet or not. They've got I think he's a right back from Inter. I can't pronounce these names. Hakimi. Yeah. But he's. I think Chelsea matched the fee that was agreed there. So Chelsea and PSG going head to head for him. Gini Wijnaldum, of course, signed on a free. We all thought he was going to Barca, but we know Gini from his Newcastle days and now from his Liverpool days. So he's a PSG, and Camavinga from Rennes. Again, I'm pronouncing it. I remember him. I had him in Football Manager, so I know his qualities. Yeah. And Mbappe, I think, signed a new deal as well. And yeah, Mbappe, and we know what's going to happen in the future. He's going to turn up at Newcastle. We've all seen that doing the rounds. But for now, he's at PSG. And what you make of the signings, or the intent that they're really going for that Champions League and the league as well, because they didn't win it this year. So Poch is going for it.
Well, for me, this is why they're doing why they're trying to do what they're doing. Because it was funny, the last time that they lost the league was to Monaco, and what they then went and did is go and get Neymar and Mbappe, because what they wanted to do is put a marker down to say we want to win things, we want to win trophies, we want to be punching at the top end of the Champions League table. And I honestly believe that's what they're doing this time as well. The team's a team that needs to be redeveloped. They've lost a number of players. Obviously, Thiago Silva last year. Meunier moved on, and a couple of others have moved on, and they've got positions that they really need to shore up. And first and foremost, it starts with the goalkeeper. So Navas is a good goalkeeper, but Donnarumma is a young goalkeeper that they could have for the next 15 years. And although it's not done, it's very close to being done. The biggest one for me is the potential of keeping Kylian Mbappe, and it's looking like at the moment that he's going to sign a new deal. I think a big say in that is the fact that Neymar signed a new deal a month or two ago. So he's committed to the club. So I think PSG have been adamant that they don't want to lose him, but Mbappe in the back of his mind also wants to play at Real Madrid at some point in his career, and at some point he will go. But right now, PSG is still fighting to win the Champions League. I think if they'd have won the Champions League this year, I think they would have been more inclined to have let him go, because they'd have hit their target of what they wanted. But at this point, I think they're still fighting for it, and they need the likes of Mbappe. The Camavinga deal, who's a tremendous centre midfielder, he's only going to get better. If it happens, and it's likely to happen, it probably won't happen until after the Euros. But the Hakimi deal is the deal that's not great at the moment. So, PSG were trying to get him on the cheap, effectively, trying to bring the price down and negotiate, because there was no real takers, and they know that Inter Milan really need the money. They're struggling for cash right now, and they also know that at that point he wanted to go to them, but then Chelsea have come in, matched the bid. Chelsea really want him. I don't really see the need in wanting him with Reece James already playing there. It
Bizarre, mate. Bizarre. I don't get it.
It really doesn't make sense. But Chelsea put the money in. The one kicker to this deal is that his girlfriend really wants to live in Paris, and that could be the kicker of the deal. That could push the deal through, because obviously his girlfriend's really keen to live over there. So that deal's still up in arms, and anything could happen with that. And then there's a potential for one big signing, and I know there's a lot of talk in Paris that if there was an opportunity to sign Cristiano Ronaldo, they are looking into that. Now, I don't know if you've seen, there's a lot of talk that Max Allegri doesn't want him. Doesn't want Ronaldo at Juventus, and he's very, very much adamant in a certain way in which he plays, and Ronaldo doesn't fit into that. Ronaldo equally, I don't think is keen on staying there too long. He didn't look happy last season, and if there's an opportunity to put Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Neymar together, I think PSG is the likely destination. I know Man United have been talking about him a lot, but I think if he had the choice, he'd go to Paris.
Do you know what, as well, Pete? I think that's a really good point, because you can see that Ronaldo, I think he wants to finish his career, doesn't he? And say, I've done it in England, I've done it in Spain, I've done it in Italy. I think he'd jump at the chance to go to France. I mean, it looks like Germany's probably not an option, and I don't think it's someone Bayern would look at. And I don't think he'd join a Dortmund or anyone like that, because he wants to go and win. He wants to go and win, doesn't he? So PSG would be perfect for him, and I'm sure he probably does want to play with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe.
There was also that rumor a few weeks ago. I remember when Juventus was struggling to qualify for the Champions League, that if they failed to qualify, that he was going to be on a cut price deal back to Man United. So that could be one to watch for Ronaldo as well.
Yeah, Juventus Juventus at the moment cannot afford to keep him. He's on the best part of nearly £1 million a week on his contract. It's 900 and something £1,000 a week he's on. He was on something similar at Real Madrid, and that's why Real Madrid sort of moved him on, because they then couldn't afford him and they wanted to build in other areas. Juventus put all their eggs in one basket, effectively, and that's why they brought a load of cheaper deals and free signings come through recently, because they've not been able to afford to sign big players. The only two teams that I think can afford Cristiano Ronaldo in their wage budget is Man United and PSG, but I think he'd want to play in Paris. And with the chance of playing with Mbappe and Neymar, they'll seriously believe that they've got a chance of winning the Champions League, which is what they want. And Ronaldo will score a shed load of goals in that league. And, if he can pick up another Champions League with PSG, it'd be a dream. Like I say, a lot of these deals probably won't look to happen or look to manoeuvre until after the Euros. But it's interesting that actually PSG wanted to sign Cristiano Ronaldo last summer, but because of COVID and because of all the issues that were, he actually wanted to leave, and he probably would have left if it wasn't for COVID and joined PSG then. So I do think there's an opportunity now that it goes ahead.
I think he won his Serie A title, didn't he? And he probably knows he's not going to win the Champions League there. So he's thinking, well, I may as well move on. And that's what makes me think PSG, because will PSG win the Champions League? Don't know. But they will definitely win League One next season. Definitely.
Yeah.
So it guarantees another title in another country for him. So I think he'll be all over it.
Okay, lads, I'm going to move on. I'm also going to address a question that Truls had in the chat. Who's the weird group behind me? Well, if you think that group is weird, wait and see next week's poster.
Oh my God. That?
Yeah, I've got all arty for next week's poster. So yeah, we'll get to that at the end.
Mate, please put that back on. You look like you've got like you look like a Mr. Potato Head. I look like a ghost. Martin looks like he's missing half his face.
Martin looks better.
Martin looks better. But do you know what, Richie? That's a great one of you, mate.
Yeah,
Richie's
the glamour. He's the glamour.
Richie's won that.
Definitely.
That's actually an improvement, that one.
We can photocopy that, Richie. You can wear that as a mask. Come here. I also forgot to mention when we're on the Euro topic, the Euros. We are going to go revisit the Euros because we're going to have our leaderboard. The leaderboard is back, everybody. A new one for the Euros. But yeah, we better mention this now. We are going to do a match day live. We're going to do England versus Scotland. So when it's on 18th of June, it'll probably be around 7:30 or something like that. We'll start the show at, but keep an eye on that. Actually, I have it in YouTube already. I have it down as 7:30. So yeah, join us for that one. That should be a laugh, and we might get a few more people on with us as well. You never know. So that's just to mention that. We're soon. I just want to mention two more things, and then we're going to run for sponsors, and then we're going to get the Outcharms on. So, last thing, just briefly to mention, we probably won't chat about this, but yeah, the Spotify owner is back in town again. He's upped his bid of 1.8 billion to 2 billion for Arsenal. So, let's see if that happens. Probably not.
It'll probably go through next week.
Yeah, there you go. Not the one we want. And we've all
too much, in my opinion, Dad.
No, I think it's time that we'll go to the sponsors. And so, Richie, I'm going to hand over to you for Mind, Body, and Soul.
Yeah, so Mind, Body, and Soul, obviously, we've been in partnership from day one. Adam and the guys at Mind, Body, and Soul do some fantastic work for mental health. Specifically men, but they do it a little bit different to what normal mental health charities do. It's more about small amounts and that are important amounts for people. Anybody who's seen their Twitter page or ours, little things like £30 to get food for the rest of the week because people haven't got anything. They'll contribute to someone's electric bills, utility bills, or something like that, or help get them to work the rest of the month. Just little things that would normally be stressful, but shouldn't be stressful. If that makes sense, but it can make such a difference. Those small amounts. So, but we're really, really happy to be in partnership with them. They also have a fantastic line of merchandise, which I think Daz got a picture on. Yeah, you can go onto the website mindbodyandsoul.uk, where you can find fantastic hoodies, t-shirts, which you can mix and match with all your favorite retro souls, which we'll mention briefly. But also you've got your coasters, your mugs, your bobble hats for the winter. So you'll probably get a few of them sent to us in the next few months, prepping them for the winter months. But some fantastic clothes, fantastic charities. If you want to help contribute, because all the profits of all of the merchandise that they actually do go to all these fantastic causes that you will see on their Twitter.
Cheers, Richie. And that, my picture here is very old. They've got loads of cool, snazzy stuff now, actually. I see it being advertised on Twitter. It's like you're going, I wish I didn't buy my hoodie now. I wish I waited and got that one instead. So, But yeah, check them out. Just then a big shout out to our partners, Wayday Radio, and we'll wave to anyone listening to us on Saturday from 1 to 3. So shout out to them and the lads there. And let's talk about, and who would like to talk about Retro Souls?
I don't mind doing it.
Go for it, Pete.
Yes, okay. So Retro Souls, an independent retailer of Adidas original trainers. new and pre-owned. All trainers for sale, 100% authentic. And prices suitable for all budgets. If you want your favorite football team, if you want a particular color, a particular mix of colors, they'll do the job for you. And if you just go onto their Twitter website and look through all the different designs that they've done, they've got some fantastic pairs of trainers there. I'm looking at saving up my pennies to purchase some myself.
Nice one, Pete. I'm going to get back to the comments in a few minutes, but I think we should move on to our next section, and we're right on time. Actually, I can't believe it. I think this is the time we agreed earlier. What's going on? Let's go to, and I can't remember. It's Richie. You say this bit.
Go on then. Loaded band's favorite.
Nice one, Richie. And of course, last week Ben got a bye into the next round. So Ben's team from Apollo Junction got through. So nice one. He goes through the next. So I keep mentioning the next round, but I never remember then who was in it. So I said I'd put something together. So this who has made it into the next round. So we've got Paul Oxley, Jack Cattell, my mate Jar, Richie, you're through. Chris, you're through. Ben is through. And now we have one this evening. The Outcharms were going to take on me in this loaded fan.
We do actually have next week's fixture confirmed as well, Daz.
Oh, do we? Great.
Yep. Next week, our very own Stato Keith Roll will be taking on our lovely friends from Johnny Ash Band, who contributed to our fantastic intro for Loaded Mag.
Nice one. So that should be tasty as well. So yes, the Outcharms are quicking in the boots there. So it's time to bring them on. Hey lads, welcome back.
Good evening, boys. How are you doing?
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
You good?
All good?
Yeah, sweet. Weather's nice, so not much to complain about. Euros on Friday.
Yeah. Is it coming home, lads?
I mean, you start.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is every time.
Yeah, it's never coming home for me. I live in Ireland. Yeah, never coming home. Never getting there in the first place. Right. So yeah, let's talk about what have you been up to since we talked to you last. Any gigs lines up or anything like that?
It's been we've been sort of busy amongst ourselves. Not much really to announce because everything's been slowing, stopping, and starting. 1 minute you're allowed to the pub, next minute you've got to sit in sixes and all that. It's just like you're getting told to do one thing and do another. So we've just been trying to work through the riddles that they're sort of sending us. And a lot of exciting stuff, come September time. So hopefully we can get to that point without any, major setbacks like we had the last year and a half. But feeling hopeful, like I say, it's coming home. Optimism's in the air. So
Cool.
I think that's all England fans can have, really, isn't it? Optimism.
Yeah. We've not got anything else.
No. Apart from good music. There's usually a good English song. You should have done what the lads later on have done. You should have done a song for England because they're not doing one this year.
Try to get a little free lines or a World in Motion going. Get a bit of money.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, right.
Should have thought of that earlier.
Speaking of music, it would be rude to have you on and not play at least one or two of your tunes. So I've got on in the system. I've got Who's Making You Smile, To Be Young and in Love, and I've got Lazy. Which one do you want to hear?
We'll go Who's Making You Smile. It's got a nice little video, for anyone who's not heard of us before that they can watch. So
yeah, my favourite as well, Das. That's a good choice.
That's a good choice. And then we'll get straight into the football talk then. So here's Who's Making You Smile.
Proceeds to, and as it flickers, yeah, she'll dance.
and make it seem like some sort of clue. The closer it gets, the further it slips. A rose with a thorn, a writer with a kiss. A doubt so unfounded, it makes him sick. To the back of his mind, up the bar for the drink. On the outside looking, when are you gonna let me in? Yeah, my heart's on my sleeve, and you mix yours with your gin. And I try not losing sleep. Mine's you out for mine to keep. And I wonder all the while, who's making you smile? You're like a puzzle in the daily paper. I think the printer's made a mistake, because just when I think I've cracked it, I couldn't be further away. I try getting a second opinion, but they all tell me it's all part of the fun. I bet you giggle as they attempt. I bet so many thought they'd won. On the outside looking, when are you gonna let me in? Yeah, my heart's on my sleeve, and you mix yours with your gin. And I try not losing sleep. Mine's you out for mine to keep. And I wonder all the while, who's making you?
That's what we have back. Nice one, nice one. And Pete, you weren't here with us when the lads on before. So, what do you make of the tunes?
I've just downloaded it.
Yeah, nice. Perfect.
There you go.
Literally, I've literally just downloaded it. It's quality. You know, on some of the video, like some of the places that you were playing at, that's obviously on the video.
Yeah.
Whereabouts are they?
It's like around like Sheffield and Doncaster, where we're from.
Okay.
Places around there, festivals, and then gigs of our own and stuff like that. Yeah.
I love like the people like in the crowd. They just go mental. I love it.
Yeah. That's something that we've missed. You know, I haven't seen that in a long time. So looking forward to, to getting back to that.
No, quality lads.
Cheers.
Cool. So let's get into the football chat, and let's get into the team. So I'm going to bring your team up first, lads, and so you're taking me on tonight. So here's your squad. Talk us through it.
I mean, this caused a lot of argument, considering I'm the only member of the band who supports a Premier League team. I'm a Liverpool fan, so I had to try not to let my view be clouded by my own team. But I mean, we all managed to come to some sort of agreement at some point, And I think this was the best we could do. And I reckon, you know what I mean, this isn't a bad squad. I reckon it's probably do bits. Probably still do a bit, you know, like playing today. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it, to be fair.
Cool. Anyone that stands out for you that the highlight of your team, or any particular reason you want to with any player?
I mean, for me, it's got to be Steven Gerrard. Easily, for me, the greatest English midfielder of all time. I named the dog after him. So, you know,
Nice.
I can't really say that, you know what I mean? And he's my favourite football player of all time, purely just because, you know, he's just different class to anything at that point, especially being little I'd ever seen. The way that he could hit a ball, I've never seen a player since, you know, strike a ball the way he could, from the distance that he could, with the precision that he could. And, you know, just a great leader through and through, you know, Scouser. So, yeah, top bloke. He's my highlight. Matty, who's yours?
Mine's probably Ronaldo. He's done since leaving United, and that free kick from a halfway line, who were against Wigan?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Just a beauty. He's just unbelievable.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, actually, let me bring up my team as well, because there's been a few similarities in my team as well. So here, and actually, I have a question for you on Stevie G first. Would you like to see him come to Liverpool after the Klopp era? He's doing really well with Rangers. Is that the next stepping stone for him, do you think?
I think it's a poison chalice with any ex-player going to their ex-club. I mean, you know, Lampard maybe went to Chelsea a little bit early. You know, Solskjaer, he never escapes criticism, whatever he does at United. I mean, they finish higher than they finish, you know, in most seasons under him, but is forever going to be clouded by, you know, the Europa League final. So it's a poison chalice if you go to your old club. But, you know, when Klopp leaves eventually, will he be ready for it? I mean, he'll be welcomed with open arms, but there's always a worry that the minute you start picking up bad results and bad form, that it's automatically turns around to his fault. So it's difficult, but yeah, I mean, who'd not want to see him on the touchline? You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course you would.
Cool. I got to go to my team. So this is my team, and if you look at your backline and look at my backline, they're totally different. So here's my team, and I've gone with a classic Newcastle shirt because I know most of our watchers are Newcastle fans, so I'm not trying to take an advantage of that at all. Okay.
Yeah, you're trying to get some easy votes early on.
Brownie points. Okay, so yeah, Schmeichel in goal for me, an immense keeper. I think most people, I know you went with Czech, but an awful lot of people went with Schmeichel. But again, it could be the age group from as well.
Generational thing, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Schmeichel, immense. Anytime he played against Newcastle, and as we always mentioned a few times, that time that he was a brick wall when we were going for the league back a long time ago. I purposely didn't put John Terry or Rio Ferdinand in my team because I don't like them. I was tempted to put in John Terry, but no, I went with Adams, Virgil van Dijk, and Vidic. And yeah, the reason for Van Dijk, I know he's still playing and he's got years ahead of him, but he's the only player that has got a statue built for him while he's still playing. So that's why I had to put him in the team. So Virgil van Dijk gets in the back line for me. So then I went with defensive midfielder with Vieira. I did toy with the idea of putting David Batty in there, but I said, yeah, okay, I'll put Vieira in. And Gerrard, like yourselves, with Gerrard, Scholes, Paul Scholes, he scores goals. Henry, Ronaldo, Shearer, it's pretty similar to yourselves. And then Beardsley, absolutely love Peter Beardsley. So he had to make it into my team. So if you look at them head to head, here they are. And as I mentioned, there's some similarities. I think there's about 4. So here are the similarities. This is the Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher bit, the red pen. Yeah, but so I I got rid of my wing backs, or right back and left back. I just went because I think Vieira could come back there and help out the defense as well. So that's the team stats. What do the rest of the lads think?
Daz, can I just throw them up for me, mate, dead quick? So I'm gonna do it quickly so that Rich and
pick holes in it, yeah?
Mate, I like. Do you know? I'll start with your team, Daz. I like, and I think Tony Adams is a great shout. I think he. And I like how you've included current and old. Old players, like obviously there you've got Beardsley, who's like really early Premier League days, and then you've got the likes of Van Dijk, and I can fully see why you've put Van Dijk in. So no, I really like your team. In terms of the lads, the Outcharms team, I think it is really refreshing to see, obviously they're young lads, and it's really refreshing to see Peter Cech in there, because to be fair, Peter Schmeichel, fantastic goalkeeper. I had him in my team myself, but people forget what Petr Cech, his name is, isn't it? What Petr Cech did under Mourinho in those early Chelsea days when they were absolutely smashing everyone to bits. Petr Cech was unreal. So I think it's really important, the lads have got him in there because he was an absolutely fantastic keeper. That front six looks scary, doesn't it? Rooney, Shearer, Henry, Gerrard, Lampard and Ronaldo. And as the lads were saying there, I'm really pleased they've got the Gerrard in, as I know you have, Daz. And one last thing I'm going to say, Jazz, which just made me laugh when I was looking at it. I can tell you've got a friend called Gerrard by how you've spelled them. Because I'm assuming that's how Jay spells his name. Just made me laugh that when I seen it, mate.
It might have been. Okay, now he's going to think I put him in his team. He's going to slag me off, so I'll tell him not to watch this episode.
He'll love it. He'll love it.
You know what? I love the fact that you've gone 3-3-4, Daz, on your team. You've just gone for goals. Just absolute goals. Like,
Kevin Keegan's my manager, so yeah, I'm gonna go for goals.
You both have. Like, look, the wingers, Henry and Ronaldo, both can play in those positions, but for a fact neither of them are defending. They are just. You've just got like a 4. That's kind of like a FIFA setup. When you try to chase a goal on FIFA, you just kind of you go all out attack.
All out attack. Yeah. Go for it.
Ultra attacking.
Yeah, and for the Outcharms team, they've just it's like you got 2 separate parts of the team. You've just got like Gerrard, Lampard, and everyone above that are just going to attack, and then you've got the defenders as if to say, "Go on, you go and attack. We'll just stay here and stop the rest of the opposition playing." You've just literally split the team in 2. Quality.
I must admit, Daz, I'm leaning towards the lads' team. However, there is a downside. I didn't know.
Richie, I didn't hear you. So, yeah, that's Richie. Thanks, Richie, for joining us.
Being his own internet connection.
And anyone else think Richie's team or the Outcharms team is better?
He doesn't want any negative influence, do you?
I know. Here we go, Richie. Go on. How do you say?
No, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say now because I'm actually sort of helping you out, Daz. But you know what? Never mind. You shot yourself in your foot.
Go on.
No, what I was going to say, lads, actually was I do think Outcharms to me nicks it. However, with us lot on the show, the hosts here, and all the people I know that are in the chat and some of our followers, turn around saying it must be a generation thing isn't working in the lads' favour, like when they said that before. No, we love you really, lads, seriously.
Quality.
Keith loves it. Nice one. But that's the teams, lads. So what happens now is we put it up on Twitter and people vote on it, and you can see Richie and Chris are being a bit negative towards my team because they're still in the competition. That's why they want to knock us out, lads. And
it's one of them.
It's one of those. That's the way it goes, really. But lads, Anton, any other questions for the Outcharms while they're here? We're going to play another tune before you leave. But Anton, else you'd like to ask the lads?
I just asked the lads if they were excited about the O2 Academy gig that they've got in September, which is your headline show, isn't it? And then you've also sold out Gulliver's in Manchester as well for October.
Yeah, that were a big surprise. We had to upgrade the venue to Gulliver's in Manchester. It was 80 cap before. It were 80 before. It's gone up to I think just over 100. We never expected that to happen. It's nice. We've been in our own back garden for so long, and it's nice to know that it's the word's spreading and there's the demand elsewhere, outside of our hometown. And O2 Academy, that's selling really well. That's probably going to sell out as well. To start the year, even though it's going to be like September. But to start the year in terms of gigs and everything, coming back on 2 big sold out shows, and we've got a lot of stuff planned in terms of new music and a lot of exciting things that we've not done before. Sort of pushing the boundaries of what we do as a band. So yeah, really excited just for everything. Just to see people, actual human interaction, is a start. So we'll take that really.
Yeah, I think the last one, just before we play the last song, just the other thing good to say is that obviously we've got something possibly lined up for over the summer months, which I was speaking to you about last week. So that's obviously all under top secret at the minute. And some of the lads know, some don't know.
Talk about
that, I will say I am looking forward to that over the summer, lads. So I will. I'll speak to you soon about that.
Yeah, definitely love to.
Boys, I just wanted to ask you a dead quick question, really quick answer, because I know Pete wants to ask you something as well. But one word answer: who's winning the Euros?
England. Yeah, can't. Confidence and ability. You know what I mean?
Like it, boys. Like it.
I mean, Phil Foden's had his haircut, so of course we're going to win it, aren't we?
We're going to win, obviously.
Yeah. Nice one. We're going to play out with one of your tunes, lads. You're going to have a selection. So, to be younger and in love or lazy?
We'll go lazy because it's got a nice little swanky video. First video that we ever did, they put makeup on us, which, you'll see in the video that we look a lot better in that than we do sat here. So yeah,
Dad, just before they do a shoot, I just want to see if they'd seen the message from Zach from Dictator. They want to know: have you got any support for your Sheffield and Manchester gigs?
Sort of working on something, but tell them to get in touch and we'll see what we can do.
There you go, Zach.
Yep.
Word out
there you go.
Yeah,
Dictator wants support.
Buzzing.
It's a yes.
Yeah.
Cheers, lads. Here's your tune, Lazy.
A bronze medal, but no silver spoon, but that could change if you wanted to, yeah. But the haze is far too thick, and all the hairs run far too quick. For your little shell, your own private hell, you wanna be someone inside to tell. You get what you get, so they say. You live and let live, it's easy. I'll take what I need. Crowd, you're berated. Everything that you do is belated. An excuse might buy you time, but the more you spend, yeah, the less you find. It's not a case of who has what or who has not. You take a look at how they got it. You tell them put your hands in your pocket. We're getting on it. You get what you get, so they say. You live
Nice one from the Outcharms. Lazy. And
Cool
another great
video,
tune.
that wasn't it? Cool video.
Yeah,
I
it
like
is.
the, I like
And
the mannequin.
check out the rest of their stuff on YouTube and on Spotify, or download it as Pete has just done. And anyone listening on the way to radio, give them, check them out. Yeah, and of course
we've got another song lined up for later as well, haven't we, Daz?
we do. We have another one later on. We do. We'll play it later on towards the end of the show. And
Lazy now.
Lazy,
another great tune.
Pete, I'll just save you the trouble. Just download Outcharms stuff. Don't just pick and choose. Just download them. Seriously.
There you go. Do we want to bring Outcharms back on, or we bring on Dictator?
Yeah.
What do you think,
Well,
lads?
if they want to come back, we'll ask them. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're sitting in the chat as well. So we'll bring on Dictator first, and then we'll see if the lads are still there. We can get them back on. So here is Ronaldinho. Welcome back, Joe. And here is Zach. Welcome, Zach. A new face.
A new face. Full disclosure, I am the B team though. Michael couldn't make it, so he's got stuck with me, unfortunately. I apologise.
Don't double. Yeah. Nice one.
Is your voice as good as his, or Zach?
No, thankfully I'm prettier though.
Nice one. Of course, and there's a deal has been arranged in the background in the chat there. Great to have that. It's all sorted there. We look forward to that collaboration and the concert in Sheffield later on in the year. So Richie, you got the Dictator back. We only had them on 2 weeks ago. What possibly could we talk about with them again?
Well, luckily, I'm actually signed up to the lads' mailing list, and they put out there last week that there was some news dropping. And, you know, something we mentioned a bit earlier on with the Outcharm lads was about not having an England song this year. Well, the Dictator lads were on the ball, and they've actually released a Scottish Euro tune. So what's better with it being launched on Spotify this weekend to get them on and have an exclusive play and chat about their music than have the lads on themselves and promote it. So that was the reason why we've got them back on 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
so
good reason.
Ricky,
a very good reason and a more appropriate reason with the Euros starting this week. So it was just pretty fitting. It was like a glove and your hand going into a nice warm glove, wasn't it, basically?
Ricky, can I just say, mate, you said that we were on the ball. We decided that we were going to do this on Wednesday. We recorded it on Thursday and we released it on Friday. So we weren't on the ball, man.
We know all about that. We made up a quiz in 5 minutes before a show once. So that's cool. And lads, are you looking forward to the big one? England versus Scotland on the 18th of June.
Yes, very much so. Cannot wait.
Expected you might.
I can't wait to beat you. That's what I can't wait for.
I think I should actually divide us up here. Here, I'll be because I'm from Ireland. I'm going to be on the Scottish side. So Scottish on the top, England on the bottom. There we go. That's a bit better.
Love it.
So, who wants to hear the tune?
It's the only time they'll be on top of this tournament.
Ooh.
Hey, get your money on now. What is Scotland? 250 to 1. I never even talked about the top goal scorer or bypassed that. No. But I will come back to that another time. But yeah.
What are your actual thoughts about the Euros? Do you reckon? What do you think about your chances? Well, firstly, of getting out the group, and then
I think I don't agree with that. What I feel is we're not going to get embarrassed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we'll get out of the group. It's hard to say, but I think we'll play well. Like, I don't know why. I've got a good feeling. The past couple of games have looked good. Obviously, it's different, totally different actually playing in the tournament when it's not just a friendly and that. But I don't know. There's a good feeling about it. But I had a good feeling about Celtic winning 10 in a row as well. So Aye, I'm not saying nothing else.
To be fair though, Joe, you had a good draw against Holland last week.
Aye.
And to be fair, Holland were lucky to get an equaliser in the last minute. So
I know. Never a free kick, like. But
no, you're going to say that though, aren't you?
To be fair, I mean, if you'd asked at the start, would you walk away with a 2-2 draw? Of course you would have. So you can't complain.
Yeah,
definitely. But you've got some good players, though. You know, obviously one of our boys, Ryan Fraser, who's only seems to be fit for Scotland nowadays, rather than his club. Scott McTominay, I really liked him this season. I think he's a very, very good player. And then a guy that I know quite well, Shea Adams, who's just started joining the international ranks, who seems like he's taken to it like a duck to water. He's really felt comfortable in there, and I'm really glad that he's played for Scotland, because you know, he'll give everything for you guys, and he'll you know, it'll only be better. It'll only better his career by playing with you guys in international football. So, you know, you've got players there that can do some damage on their day. So I would do. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think you're more equipped now than in previous years going into a tournament?
I would say so. We've been unlucky in the past in that, but this team, there's something about this team. It feels like quite a young team. I mean, the midfield we've got 2 Premier League players in the midfield, McTominay and McGinn, and then Tierney and Robertson as well. Yeah. And obviously getting Shea Adams was exactly what we're needing, someone up front that's going to give you a bit of movement. So, I mean, hello Dykes, and he's a big strong boy in that, but Shea Adams just brings something else to it, and like all the way through we're looking good. So yeah, Joe, I think that's a change. Aye.
Joe, from a Scotland point of view, do you think we'll see much of Billy Gilmore? And what did you think about Matt Richy? I mean, personally, I don't know in terms of how Matt Richy would sit in your squad, but certainly from a Newcastle point of view, he came back into the team. It was around January, February time, and he was absolutely fantastic for us. Is Matt Richy retired from from international football, or is it that he just wasn't selected? I mean, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, they are.
He retired, Chris. He retired.
Oh, did he? Right. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, I think he probably would have come back if he'd been asked.
Yeah,
but he did pack in, unfortunately.
And you know what, Rich? I don't even think he retired. I actually, he was picked for a squad, and then he didn't play. Like he literally didn't play any minutes. And as a Newcastle fan, I was glad about that, because we always get injuries on the international breaks anyway. But then I think he told them in the next pick not to select him. And
it doesn't sound like Matt Richy.
And he's just not been selected since. They've just not selected since. But that was with the previous manager. Was it McLeish, the previous manager? Before,
it was. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
It was with McLeish that happened, and he's just not been selected since. But Rich is right. I think, you know, bringing him in for the tournament would be ideal. I mean, I thought the same about with England with Jamie Vardy, just for bringing him in for one tournament, to bring him in as a striker to ruffle up some feathers. But Richie would certainly do that.
I think the one thing I noticed about what Scotland have got is what Pete mentioned about what England had a couple of times. I think they've got togetherness, and I think they're all pulling in the same direction. I think that's why they're doing so well, because Steve Clarke's put them all together, and they've just molded them into one team, fighting in the same direction, believing in the same thing. And I think Billy Gilmore is going to be an outstanding player in the future. And I think even at a young lad, he's going to light up the tournament for Scotland. I think.
Yeah. I hope he gets some game time.
I was going to say, I hope he does get game time.
Mm-hmm. That's how about we play the tune? Let's go for it. Let's play the "We'll Be Coming." We might get the Outcharms back on again after the tune as well, because England need to bring on a sub, so might do that. They're getting worried.
We'll be coming, we'll be coming, we'll be coming down the road. When you hear the noise of a tartan army, boys, we'll be coming down the road. We'll be coming, we'll be coming, we'll be coming down the road. When you hear the noise of a tartan army, boys, we'll be coming down the road. We'll be coming, we'll be coming, we'll be coming down the road. When you hear the noise of the tartan army, boys, we'll be coming down the road.
Scotland! Go on, Scotland!
I loved the. I was putting in the chat then. You know, when I mentioned about the tune. You know, when it started going, it's like that dance song. And I was like that, listening to it. That's so good. That was really good, boys. Really good.
Chris, I'm actually still logged in on our channel from doing a load of marks today. So I actually got to see what other people were doing during that thing, and that's why I said Daz made my night. Seriously, when that beat came in, I thought he was an 80-year-old clubber again. He was like,
Zach was good, giving it loads as well. So
so good.
And I think Joe had just seen the last penalty in the shootout with Man United, where we left from last week. He caught up on it. That's where he was. He was so far behind. But no.
Brilliant.
But no, great tune, and yeah, it's a nice little thing to put together, and especially for the tournament, it's cool. Let's get the Outcharms back as well, and we'll have a bit of banter. Hey lads,
hey,
what you make of it?
I've found myself, like again nodding and dancing along until I realised, obviously, that we play each other in the group. That's like to make out I was trying to get something off my shoe or something like
that. I saw them dancing. Nice one.
I mean, Matt even cracked an iron brew up,
Yes.
Nice. Where do we go next, lads? Because we normally have a structure here, so I don't know where we're going next.
It's all gone off east.
Yeah. Well, I've got tunes, and I've got we can have more football banter. I know since we spoke about the last time, Joe, you might remember we talked a bit about Ayer and the potential link with Newcastle. There's still rumblings on about that. I think he does look like he's going to leave now as well. And I think we'd fancy him at Newcastle. So hopefully that one comes through. But Anthony, what you guys want to say to the lads?
I don't know. We invited the Outcharms back on Ask Me Anything. So do they want to ask the lads anything?
Yeah. Realistically, how far do you think? Because I think a lot of people are writing Scotland off. You look at the players that they've got. A lot of players like playing top level football. I mean, you've only got to look at Andy Robertson as an example. Then McTominay. I think a lot of people are writing him off here. I think people, usually they're going to get a lot further than everyone think, and I definitely think it's going to be in our game next Friday. We'll leave the animosity out of it, but I think it might be. It'd be nice to get a draw, but we want to see one. We want to see one at the other win, don't we? I suppose.
If anything, all the pressure's on England. To be honest,
yeah, exactly. You've got nothing to lose, really. So
exactly. So hopefully, we'll all be pleasantly surprised up here. But I'm not getting overexcited about actually winning anything, like any games or that. But I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to say. I mean, what was I, 5-year-old in 1998, the last sort of big tournament? So it's like a total new feeling for me. So, but I am quietly confident that we will play well.
I think that your first game against the Czech Republic, I think that's your decisive one, in my opinion. I think if you beat them, you're in the top three, and it can't be the top three that qualify. So it's like the fourth top three highest or something qualified. Yeah. So you've got every chance of getting through to the group, the knockout stages.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like Pete was saying earlier, Croatia, they've got an aging side, haven't they? And Zach and Joe both said there, Scotland, it's young, it's youthful, it's there's loads of energy and enthusiasm, and there's no pressure on them whatsoever, as Joe said. So there's no reason why Scotland. I'm going to say this. There's no reason why Scotland can't even top the group. But I wouldn't. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind having a little cheeky bet on Scotland to come second. Really wouldn't, because that Croatia side, that'll be a big match. But as Richy said, if you win the first game, then it's just about getting that snowball effect and getting yourselves in a position where you've got something to fight for.
Did you get hit in the head, Chris, after that tune? Scotland to top the group. What are you on,
mate? I've seen stranger things happen, mate. Why not? Really, why not?
When Ireland tried to get back into the World Cup after the Henri handball incident, and the FAI wanted to add another team in, team number 33 or something. That's not going to happen.
I've got to be honest, I didn't realise the squad was that strong, and there's some good players in there, and all it takes. I mean, the two friendlies we've watched England play, they were poor. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's we're going to take that form into the tournaments, but if Harry Maguire's out, Jordan Henderson's out, that's a big part of the spine of the team. I don't know. You never know with football, mate. If
anybody knows what the odds are on England, Scotland being the top two in the group, wouldn't be a bad bet to put on, to be honest. No. Is one question for you guys? Is Grant Hanley still in your squad?
Yeah, seen him before.
In that case, you ain't making it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, let me put up the squad again. I
think he's in the second column.
He is. Okay. Yeah, saw him there.
Yeah,
So,
you got to go.
top of the group, Chris.
Scott McKenna, Liam Cooper. That's got to be the partnership, surely. They're both
Grant Hanley's a bit like a tree, isn't he? He gets in the way, but he doesn't move very much.
Yeah, that's the problem. Liam Cooper's a good defender. Good defender from Leeds. Scott McKenna, good centre back. They're for me. I mean, I don't know what the lineup normally is, but that would be my lineup. I wouldn't be going into a major tournament with Grant Hanley in there. He's just too susceptible to a mistake. Play him on Friday by all means, but yeah, any other game it might struggle.
Right, Pete, are you ready for this, mate? Dead quick. Okay, so we've got here England to top the group and Scotland to come second is 9-2, which equates to about 4.5 to 1.
Right.
Scotland to win the group and England to finish runner-up 20 to 1.
There you go.
You heard it here on Loaded First.
Yeah. The loaded bet of the week.
Loaded bet.
Yeah.
Lads, I think we're going to go for another tune, and Martin is plaguing me to play hide and seek, and yeah, it's an amazing tune. So yeah, we're going to go for hide and seek. It's a long one, but it's a quality tune. I know the listeners will enjoy this one. So here is hide and seek.
Stood there together, we felt like forever. Don't you cry, it'll be all right. Just follow the music, let it lead you straight to my arms, to my heart. No more happily ever after. We wrote our names down different paths. Come on, you know, will you follow some music and it led you away from my arms? Why weren't you there from the start? Where were you when I needed you there? Well, you weren't by my side. Well, tell me how that felt. Where were you when I needed you there? Well, you weren't by my side. Now listen when I say to you, this ain't hide and seek. You say you loved me once, now emotionally. This ain't hide and seek. This ain't some game that we can be. Stood there forever laughing and smiling. I looked into your eyes and I lost my mind, but it was worth it, and I would do it again just to touch you and breathe in your skin. But you go to let me in. Can you'll be lonely and in love. Never meant to leave you hung up, but you let me slide, never let me inside. Though I'm still with you. We were reckless and in love, but we grew up so out of touch. No matter what there's been on the days in between, I still love you. But where were you when I needed you there? Were you warm by my side? Well, tell me how that's fair. Where were you when I needed you there? Were you warm by my side? Now listen when I say to you, this ain't hide and seek. You say you love me once, now more certainly. This ain't hide and seek. This ain't some game that we can be. Oh,
Great tune, that, boys.
We love that one.
It's everlasting,
Great, and,
isn't it?
Yeah, and it kind of, I think it also kind of means something to people as well. A lot of people connect with it. I know Martin definitely does, who's in the chat. Yeah, there's exactly as I said. I didn't even read his comment before I said it, but yeah, a lot of people feel like that as well. So that's great.
It's definitely a song that draws you in every time you hear it. You just got to. I think you just got to sit and listen to it. Or sit. I actually know. I've listened that much. I know the words now.
Yeah, you're singing along to it.
I run to it at the gym. It's there are certain songs, like very upbeat songs, that get you sort of motivated at the gym. But for me, that song, I can run to that all day.
Do you know what it means to me? A really boring song to play on the bass when we're playing live.
Really?
It's got about 4 notes in it.
You like a challenge.
Yeah.
I do.
You want to take on an Outcharms tune? There you go. There's a challenge for you.
Try it.
He only plays 3 notes, so it'd be even more boring.
Cool. We are going to play another Outcharms tune before the show's over, and we are going to play another Dictator tune. So stick around. And I have one that we didn't play as well. Actually, that last time I have Mirror Mirror. So I think we'll go straight into the topic that we're going to take earlier, and it's the loaded leaderboard. So we're back with this loaded leaderboard, but we're going to do a Euros one. So join in, lads, and we'll go around the table and see what you think of the matches coming. I just have to find them. I have them here somewhere. Yes, here they are. So here are the fixtures that are coming up, and I'll move you out, Joe, so you can see you. Yeah, and I'll get rid of my banner so we can see the full thing. Yeah, so I'll start it off. So I'm going to go. It's Turkey versus Italy. I'm going to go Italy. Chris, what are you having?
Okay, so yeah, I've got to go Italy. I think Italy are going to do pretty well this time around. So yeah, I'll say Italy.
Pete?
I'm going to go draw.
Ooh.
I'll say Italy as well, Dad.
Okay. Outcharms.
I mean, yeah, you've got to go Italy, really, haven't you? I suppose. Yeah.
You can have 2 votes. It's 2 We give you
No,
a
no.
vote each.
We've both got to go Italy.
Joe, who are you having?
I'll need to go Italy because I've got a Juventus top on the now.
Yeah, you have to do that. Okay, next up is Wales, Switzerland. I'm going Wales here. Gareth Bale.
I'm gonna say Wales. Yeah, I'll go Wales as well.
I'm gonna go Wales.
I'm going the draw. Fabienne Shah.
Oh, Fabienne Shah. Outcharms, who are you going for?
Yeah, we're going for a draw as well. Yeah.
Nice one. Joe?
I was the exact same. Probably a draw. Probably a draw for that one as well.
Draw that one. Nice one. Right, next up is Denmark, Finland. I'm going Denmark.
Now that Lord Bentner has retired, I'm going to go for the draw.
Denmark for me.
Yeah, Denmark for me too.
Yeah, Denmark for us.
I'm going to go Finland.
Ooh,
nice.
Timu Pukki. Yeah.
Yeah, Timu Pukki, yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Next we go Belgium, Russia. Belgium for me.
Yeah, it's got to be Belgium.
Yeah, Belgium for me.
Yep, Belgium for me.
Unbelievably strong squad again, so yeah, Belgium.
Aye, Belgium all the way.
Full house Belgium. Next up, England, Croatia. I'm going to say a draw. Yes, a draw.
See, Daz, this goes back to what I was saying before. I was saying earlier, if why Scotland couldn't top the group. If we draw a couple of games and say one of those games is against Scotland, and Scotland will get the extra game ahead of us, goal difference can often play a factor in these small groups, can't they? So, I'm going to say draw. Might take us a while to get going.
England all the way.
Coming home for Pete.
Comfortable.
Never in doubt.
Comfortable.
Yeah, I'm going England as well.
It's coming home, isn't it? You know what I mean? Phil Foden's has a haircut, so.
Good lads.
Joe, what are you having? England, Croatia.
Well, I'm going to say Croatia. No. Do you know something? I'll take it back. I think a draw. I think England will start well and then bottle it in the last 10 minutes, and I'll finish 1-1.
Nice one. Are you free every Wednesday night, Joe? Because we're looking for a Martin replacement, and yeah, this is the kind of thing he does. He just throws these curveballs in. So I
can't sign you up.
No, you can't. Okay, the next one, the big one, Austria. Good day, mate. Against North Macedonia.
You did that the other week as well. You did that the other week.
My brother lives in Australia. I do know the difference. Yeah, so I'm going Austria here.
Oh, dear me.
It's not the easiest of games to predict, is it? It probably won't go my accumulator, put it that way. I will go for I'll go for Australia. Australia.
Hey, well, they're not in Europe.
That's Daz's fault. That no, I'll go Austria.
It's not Eurovision, you know. It's the Eurovision.
No pois. No, I'll go Austria. Yeah.
I'm going to go draw.
Ooh. Fancy the Macedonians.
Austria for me.
I'm trying. Probably Austria, I would say.
Austria.
Okay, next up is the Dutch against Ukraine. I'm going Netherlands here.
Yeah, I'll go Dutch as well. Yeah, I'll go Netherlands.
Holland for me, all the way.
Yep, Holland 2 for me.
We're going for draw.
Ooh.
That game. I mean, they struggled. I mean, no disrespect to Scotland, like I said, they're an up-and-coming squad. They've got a lot of young, decent players playing at top level, but they always seem to just fall short. I mean, that might just be the fact that I'm betting on them too much. But every time you seem to have them in an accumulator, they always fall short, and this could just be another one of them times. First group game, nerves might get to them. So, yeah, draw.
Sorry, did I miss something? So are we still talking about Netherlands against Ukraine here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I thought you said Scotland there. Sorry, yeah. Okay, Grant. Cheers. Joe?
I'll go Holland, I think. I think they're good enough. If they do play well, they should win that easy, but who knows? But Holland.
Holland. Okay, next up, Scotland, Czech Republic. I'm going to say the draw here.
Joe's going to love this. I'm going to say Scotland.
To top the group.
Yeah, Shea Adams to the rescue. Scotland to win.
Do you know what? I'm going Scotland as well.
Hey.
That song? It's that bloody song?
We had a very good weekend in Prague, so we're going to say the Czech Republic. A little soft spot for us. Yeah. Star of Prague and all
that. Memories.
You know something? Speaking about Prague, I don't own any Scotland top or nothing like that, but I do have a Prague like that, which I got in one of the best weekends in my life in Prague, but still not enough to convince me I'm going to go Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland. Right, we move on. Chris, forget about topping the group. What's the odds on a Scotland-Australia final? That's what I want to know. Next up is Poland, Slovakia. I am going Poland here.
Yeah, you've got to fancy Poland with Mr. Lewandowski up front. So yeah, I'm going to say Poland.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got to say Poland. Poland to win.
Yeah, I'll go Poland as well.
Same again. Poland, like I said, Lewandowski. So,
yep, Poland.
Poland. Looking good there. So next up is Spain, Sweden. I am going Spain. Kraft is in that Swedish squad, remember?
I'm going to.
Luckily not starting though.
Hello, yeah. I'm gonna stick with. Well, I'm saying I'm going to stick with prediction. I'm not at all. I'm going to say Spain, but I do want to make the point. I do think Spain might struggle this tournament. So, but I am going to go Spain because they're playing Sweden.
Nice one.
Spain for me. Spain.
I'm going for the draw because of the COVID outbreak that Spain have got. It might still be affecting them on Monday.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, we'll go Spain. They've always had quite a decent kit. I've had a few Spain kits in my life, so you know what I mean. They might be my second team if England get knocked out.
I think could be an upset. I'm going to go Sweden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe our Martin replacement. Let's go for the next one. Hungary, Portugal. I am going Portugal there.
Yeah, I've got to go Portugal. I didn't get a chance to mention them before, actually. The Portuguese, they've, I think they've gone through that period now where they had a bit of a weaker squad. So in the mid to late 90s, they had quite a strong squad, you know, with the likes of Figo, etc. And then obviously Ronaldo's carried them for the last few years, but they haven't half got some good players coming through now at Portugal. So they could be underdogs as well, especially with Ronaldo leading the team. So yeah, I think comfortable Portugal win.
It's arguably their weakest team was the one that won the Euro 2016.
Yeah.
So they've got a crazy amount of talent, not just in attack but now in defence as well. Got some really good players across the board. When Ronaldo will win the day against Hungary, I've got no doubt about it. He's one of my absolute idols in football. I love the guy and what he stands for. So hopefully he has another really good tournament
I'm reading Julie's comment there.
I know. I thought as well. Simple for me, Portugal.
Yeah, same again. Like they've got, in terms of the squad, they've got young players, and then they've got the experience of arguably one of the greatest players in the world in the team. So, I mean, I've backed them. I've had a bet on them, to win it outright. So, I definitely think they're going to be one to watch. I don't think anyone's giving them enough credit at the minute. So, yeah, Portugal.
Aye, I'll go Portugal as well. I had a tenner on them to win it in 2016. So ever since then, I feel a big Portugal fan.
Nice one, Portugal. Credit to Andrew. We've learned about Andrew's family tree tonight. We know he's half Scottish on his father's side, and he's got a cousin, I think, who's in Portugal. So nice, Andrew, for giving us the full family tree there. So yeah, the big one then on the Tuesday, the 15th, is good enough to be a final. France versus Germany, and I am saying France.
This is a tough one, isn't it? Do you know what? Just because I could see it happening, I'm going to say Germany.
There's only one winner for me, France.
Ooh, let's have a think. I'm going to go with... No, I'm going to draw. Draw.
Edging towards Germany there, Richie, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm going to draw.
Draw.
Yeah, we're going to draw. I was every big game that's got a lot of pressure on it. It just ends up being a 0-0, and I can't see this being any different. So yeah, draw.
Cool.
I'll go with France.
France.
Just to throw a curveball into everyone's predictions in it. The game is actually in Munich.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Makes no difference.
Yeah, still France.
Cool. So that is loaded leaderboard and the first set of fixtures that'll take us up to next week. I think it's time for another tune, and we'll go for an Outcharms one. Let's go for. We'll treat Joe to an Outcharms tune, and we'll go to Be Young and in Love. Here we go.
Did you find what you were looking for? Did you cry till your eyes are red, or all you knew the score before? It's not like you drew straws. This is not the first time it's crossed your mind. The lights they change just all the time. It's on my side, and I hope that she is too. Where I'm from, things are what they are, and whatever will be, will be. Case or well, did you ask her? You should have. Well, did you ask him? I would have. Opportunity knocks, then it runs. You think your look won't change, but you could just come up trumps. Did you ask her? How could I? Well, did you ask him? How should I? Like an elbow for the passenger side. The Mona Lisa attempts to hide a mouth wide in envy. Short of breath, long may it last. In the rain, the sunglasses stay in place. Forever don't phase and never amaze. Not a child of sweethearts are so much more than a coming of age. Where I'm from, things are what they are. Yeah, whatever will be, you know, case or well, did you find out? I hope so. Well, did you find out? my stomach somersault at the notion that you could leave out to be young and in love. Yes, to be equally as naive. Wish that he would have Monday to Sunday and back 9 to 5 got a week away. And the kids okay and laugh loud as they both remember. See you sometime next December.
Well done, the Outcharms.
Cheers, boys.
We like that one because we heard it before, and it's one of our favorites. And I'm sure many people that listen to our Spotify playlist, it's one of theirs as well. Anything else you want to talk about, lads? Because I've got one or two more tunes I want to play before in the next 9 minutes before the radio session ends. But
no, I was going to say that I've been following the comments going through on YouTube, and obviously there's a lot of people that love for all the tracks that I've had on tonight. Just to reiterate what you said, all the tracks that you've heard so far are on our Spotify playlist, so it's all in one place for you. You don't have to go searching for it anywhere. But the lads, obviously, they'll fight and get the stream credit. I know it's not much, but to be fair, it's probably trebled or quadrupled the way we've been listening to them recently, So, but no, seriously, they're all fantastic songs, and it's all in one place for you, just for your listening pleasure.
Andrew still giving me information about the family tree. You're probably related, Andrew, at this stage.
Guys, who do you think your and this is for everyone really, who do you think your player of the tournament's going to be?
Ooh. Go on, As you kick it off, mate.
Me kick it off, okay. Let me see. And I want to go to the top goal scorers here because it'll probably be someone.
Yeah,
it'll be Mbappe. I'm going to say Mbappe. Because I think. I'm kind of. That's why I said about England. I think Kane now is going to miss the first game. And is he going to be fully fit? I think he would have been up there if he was fully fit. But you got the easy option. I'm going to go Mbappe.
Okay. We wish. We wish
is right.
No, I think I'd go with Mbappe as well. I just think it's the tournament's there to set the world alight. Show him what he's really made of.
Yeah, definitely.
Joe, Chris, having anyone?
Do you know? I if I was to pick anyone, I would want to see Kieran Tierney do well. The only thing is I can't see him going the full tournament, so.
If they're going to top the group and they'll be in the final, sure, why not?
You know, Daz, I know I've put that list up again. I'm sure the name was missing, but do you know what? Bruno Fernandes is not on there.
Yeah,
good point.
Yeah.
He's got a very good chance. He scored again tonight for Portugal in the friendly, so with him and Ronaldo up front and pulling the strings.
Yeah,
good possibility.
Yeah, I think I only took the top, but I didn't go any further when I was looking at the odds of the top goal scorer. So he's probably in there. You can probably get a good price on him. So
what's that the odds for? Is that the odds for?
That's for odds for top goal scorer.
Top goal scorer.
Yeah. I forgot to talk about it earlier.
Kieran Tierney's not going to be top goal scorer.
No, he's had some tournament if he does so.
There's a couple for me. That could. I'm not saying they're going to be the top stars, but I think they'll surprise a few people. Marcus Rashford. I think Marcus Rashford could have a really good tournament. He's been in and out of the Man U team with injuries or whatever, but he just loves playing for his country, and this will be his first proper tournament that he's actually got a chance of playing because he didn't really play too much in the 2018. and Lukaku's another one. Keith Rolls just put it on there. After a really good season that won Serie A, I think he could get the goals. He's going to be the key to Belgium going far in the tournament. He's going to need to get their goals because Hazard's not on form. De Bruyne would have been one, but is he fully fit after the Champions League final injury? So I think Lukaku could have a really good season, and actually, he could have a really good tournament because he likes to be in teams where the team revolves around him. And with the other top players not playing, he could be the focal point, which means he gets more goals.
Nice.
Daz, could you throw the groups up again for us dead quick if you've got it to hand?
Groups. Yes, I do.
I always find it's always worth, for anyone who is interested in having a bet, it's always worth having a little look at the groups because quite often there's a team who are in there with a lot of other teams who they should comfortably see off. And I was just interested, see that Netherlands, that Group C is really interesting for me because I like to, certainly for the, for not just player of the tournament, but also top goal scorer, which was on there. I could see the Netherlands really getting a lot of goals there. And you find normally that a player who gets to 5, 6, possibly 7 tends to win it. And if you have a game where a player scores a hat-trick in it, they're going to have a cracking chance of the Golden Boot. So I'd certainly be looking at maybe Memphis Depay, someone like that. But in terms of the odds that were on before, Daz, a good outside one for me would be Kai Havertz. I'd have to see the first game because I know they're playing France and I know it's in Munich, as Rich said. But I'd be interested to see if Germany play him in the number 9 like Chelsea do. If they do, it's a cracking bet because Kai Havertz at 33-1 looks good, and obviously he's just won Chelsea the Champions League, so he might be a good shout. He's going into the tournament in good form.
Chris, I'm going to stop at that conversation here because I want to get Mirror on the radio slot. So we're still going to be on after this for another few minutes or so. But I just want to say goodbye to everyone on radio, and we always wave to people on the radio. That's the thing we do. Don't ask why. But here is Dictator's Mirror. Something different. Love it, lads.
It's catchy, that, boys.
Yeah, and see the message as well that Dictator are going to rework that song. Do you know that, Joe? That you're going to rework that song? Is that news to you?
This is one thing I do know. It's got the bass line, and that's pretty much the same, but it's reworked into a more I just want to say commercially type, and it's got a bit more of a chorus. I mean, I like that version as well, to be honest, but the version coming out it's different. It is different. I think more people like.
Do you mean it's got more than 4 notes for you, Joe? Is that why?
That song's got at least 15, 16 in there. I lost count, but it's a lot more exciting for me. Like, I mean, so it is going to be our next release, I believe, and it's different. It's different, and I'm looking forward to see what people think because it's like a different song for that.
Nice one, Joe. Just want to tell people about because we're going to bring the show to a close now. But what's coming up, and you'll see my ticker at the bottom as well. And I've been told I'm not allowed to give away this is Loaded Mag news. People don't think it's Newcastle related as such, so people get very panicky. But yeah, it's breaking Loaded Mag news. We're going to have a show on Monday, I believe, at 8:30, and we've secured a special guest. Stay tuned to our Twitter to find out who that guest is. Yeah, we've been talking about this one for a while. That'll be interesting. And also coming up, we've mentioned the England-Scotland game. We're going to do Match Day Live on the 18th of June, which is a Friday. And coming up this Wednesday, we have shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's a busy week ahead. We'll also have our... and I'll show up the funny picture again. We've got Tom Lumley and the Brave Liaison coming.
I'm just looking at Martin's head.
that isn't improving it, Martin. But here's the official one where we say, we'll be talking more Euros. The Euros will have kicked off. It'll be all over the place. You won't be able to get away with it. If it's something like today, though, there'll be plenty of other news hopping around across Europe in the clubs and in the Premier League and in Scotland. You never know what's happening. So tune into us next week, this day next week, and you can follow us on Twitter at LoadedHQ1, Instagram at LoadedHQ, and make sure you to subscribe. I never mentioned it tonight, but subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll find all our stuff there. So that should be interesting. And anything else you want to say, lads, as we say goodbye to everyone? And I do have one tune left to close out the show, and it is a Dictator tune. But thanks for coming on, lads. Thanks to the Outcharms. I'll stick that one up on Twitter, and best of luck in the Premier League Dream Team. And Joe, best of luck as well. Thanks for coming back on with us again, and good luck with the Scottish tune for the Euros. Cool. We all liked it. We all loved it.
I just want to say thanks to both the Outcharms and obviously Dictator for coming on. Been a class show, lads, and I look forward to speaking to you for our secret project in a month or so.
Very much so, yeah.
It's good to know that Joe actually looks surprised by actually mentioned that as well, so he didn't know about it as well. You might have to ask Zach that one, Joe.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining us, and make sure to subscribe, as I said, and you'll see us tune into us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday now. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's like a full-time job, this. But we're going to play out, as I remove that last comment, we're going to play out with Dictators, the tune we all loved, and we've actually talked a bit about this week, actually. But here is Anthem for a Doomed Youth. Thanks, lads. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Talk to you later.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night.
Shadows and cover the truth, don't care about what doesn't matter to you. Vindication for your regression. Perplexed as with you tainted facts. Don't call us out cause we've covered our tracks and it doesn't fit the manifesto. So sorry son, you're gonna have to go. Write an anthem for the doomed youth cause you've no one to love and we don't love you. Don't trust the lies that have stuck like glue no matter what you put us through. Don't be surprised when we rise and we hold